Okay, so this is Steven, and I'm going to show you how the Zodiac bus bomb letter from 1970 is actually a map of Mare Island Naval Shipyard that is directing the female member, E, of the Zodiac, who owns a VW bus, where to pick up cardboard tubes A and B that are going to have some type of probably photo electronic surveillance information or some other kind of classified information, right? So forget all these different instructions, but this is how you do it. So you got to do this first. Okay, you have to invert the map. So we got to turn it that way. Let's bring it back. And I'm doing this with one hand. So we're going to stretch that out. Okay, so we inverted it. And then we're going to need to turn it sideways. Right? And then we'll drag it over here a little bit more. Okay, so now this area right here represents this area right here. Okay, so from here to actually directly across to here without showing this bottom part. All right, so on the bus bomb map, you see that right there? That's actually a P for parking. And then it says battery when it's the other way. So at Mare Island, there's the larger parking space, right? And then there's a smaller parking space, like right over here to the corner. See what I'm saying? So you have this parking space to this parking space. So on the map, what they're saying is, it says when this is turned around, it says a line of bombs or a series of bombs. Whatever we're saying is, okay, this is the big parking space. Like, so there's like, a lot of cars over here. So it's the big parking space. I need you to go to the small parking space. So that's where this car battery thing. And then the first package will be over there. So that's A. So over here, it's saying, here's the sun, right? Or star, whatever. It's saying start, get it, start in the bus, in the VW bus. And I want you to drive to A. All right? To get to A, start in the big parking lot and then drive into the little parking lot and it'll be there. So a civilian can get into this parking lot. You just come in here, right, or whatever, and then just drive over to this smaller parking lot. And then I don't know if this building was there or not, but there's something over here that has the information. And then you come over here and it gets kind of weird because you see this thing and I'm like, what's that? And I couldn't quite figure out what it is. But what we say it is drive out of the parking lot, right, to get to B. B is actually down here at Waterfront and Railroad Avenue. So you could come out of the parking lot, go down Railroad, and just get to Waterfront and pick up the B package. But Railroad Avenue is on base. So for some reason, they wanted her to go out to this little circle. And I'll show you where that is. So you see how this kind of like this little bump right here, it wasn't actually square. It's kind of roundish. That wasn't an accident. That was like, okay, take the little turn out. Then you could come down what's called Azure Avenue. Doesn't allow you to go straight over the railroad. It dips below, and then you come back up to Waterfront, and you could get to package B without being on the base. But so on the bus bomb map, it says B's over here, and you go around the little loop, but it doesn't show you the dip. Because if it showed you the dip, that would give it away. So they just got down to here and said, yeah, it's on waterfront, but you got to go down because you can't get to railroad. So if they forced her to go out here, she would realize she can't get to railroad to get to waterfront, and that she would just drop down and come back up and grab package B. So all the writing is instructions as to what to do. So this part right here, when it's the other way, says bus. So they're telling her, take the street. Don't be walking. We need you to drive. So take the bus on the street right here, and you're going to go to A and you're going to go to B. And what you're going to do is you're going to start here, right? And then and you're going to go to A by going into the parking lot, the big parking lot. Okay, so get into the big parking lot. If it'll let me. Okay, am I on there? There it is. Okay, so get it. Get on Bagley, get into the parking lot, or however you got there. Go over, pick up the package on A, next to this small parking lot. Then drive down Bagley, go around the circle, come down Azure. You'll see that you can't get to railroad. So just drop down to 15th, come down, come back up, and grab package B, and then do whatever you got to do. Split, drop it off, you'll have it. And so that was the actual purpose for the bus bomb letter. And so I'll just pull this back a little bit. And if you don't look at this bottom part right here, it looks just like that over there. So like, let's say I did this and I brought that there, get rid of that. And well, it doesn't matter. You don't even need to do that. That was like stupid, right? Because ultimately, right, the real key that makes it all work is once you flip it, is this little anomaly right here. That's the key. That's so when you're breaking this code, that little thing right there, when you can see that this person is doing these things on purpose, right? They could have squared that off. That was to make sure you knew that you were going around here, to stay off of the base, to get down and come down and then go here. I kept thinking, well, that it would just go railroad to there, right? But for some reason, the map didn't seem to be just that simple, because when you do that, right, you just get a square. And I was like, why is it kind of roundish right here? And I expanded the map. I said, there must be something at the map I'm not seeing. Because at first I was only looking at the map in this area. Because I thought it was this small area at first that the map was actually suggesting. I thought they were just going around here. And it just didn't fit when I kept looking at it. And I did a transparency and I said, man, that's not working. So I said, there must be something I'm missing. And then when I pulled it out and I saw this and I saw that, that's when I knew, okay, A is something over here by the small parking lot. B is down here at waterfront. They don't want her on Railroad Avenue, and you can't get through there. I thought there might be a way through there, and it's no. And they wanted her to drive. I checked it out walking, and you can walk through there, but they're like, no, drive the bus on the streets, right? Make this loopy, come down and get to the package. All right, so I am now going to, uh, I guess that's the presentation. Okay, so I'll turn this back. That's all I wanted to do was, oh, can I do it? Is it gonna let me? Yes, it will. I'm gonna flip that back. I'm gonna pull this over. I'm gonna turn this around. And just so you see, this is the bus bomb in its original form, right? So that's the diagram and all the information that's on it. I'll get into the Zodiac equals 10, SFPDs. I don't even know. It'd take me a minute. I have to go through it all. But they're just telling her to go to A and B to pick up the photoelectric switches. So there's something photoelectric in these canisters here, because that's kind of their theme. They were photo reconnaissance people, and they're telling her to drive the bus from A to B. And so they flip the map around, and so be on the street, right? So you're gonna start, here, go to A to B to get this. So start here. So here's start on the bus. You're going to be picking these two up, these two things, A and B tube. It's going to have photoelectric, probably pictures in there, negatives wrapped up. And you're going to drive from A to B, flip this around, and it'll tell you how to do it. And so that's what she does. She starts here, drives down here, grabs A, comes by, goes to the little parking lot, to the big parking lot, comes back around, comes down, grabs the other one, and then does whatever the rest of the instructions in here do. So this is the one that came with the "My name is" letter, where he actually tells what his name is. And he did. He actually told his first name and his nickname. His first name was Charlie, and he said, I also use Chuck. That's what the code says in the "My name is" letter. So the solution to the cipher is Charlie. It's the known moniker of Asians in the Vietnam War, which at the time was Charlie, which was Victor Charlie, which was the radio call, and the American soldiers just shortened it to call all the VC just Charlie. So that's his first name. His actual his given name is Charles, right? He calls himself Charlie and Chuck. That's what they called him in his high school. In his high school yearbook, it shows that he's called Charlie and Chuck, and then his actual legal name is Charles. So it all lined up. And then I also use Chuck from misspelled letter codes, where you extract the missing letter and the added letter. It turns into an anagram, and it was a phonetically correct anagram. So you didn't have to really guess one letter at a time. It literally said I use or and then CK, which is Chuck. So that's the deal. So it was a legit communication. It was a real communication. They knew how to verify it. He put his name in there, and it was used as a map for Mare Island Naval Shipyard. So they were operating out of Mare Island, Hunters Point, and NAS Alameda.